Ecoliteracy and sustainable development. So, ecoliteracy considers ecological systems and awareness of how society operates within natural aspects as an educational imperative. So, the basic principles of ecoliteracy are good starting points to explore fundamental lessons that can be learned from nature for the reform of society. According to David Orr, 1992, posited that by failing to include ecological perspectives in education, students are taught that ecology is unimportant. Orr and Capra coined the idea of ecological literacy as creating a new emphasis on the need for education to integrate understanding of the interdependence between natural processes and human ways of life. Therefore, ecoliteracy is the ability to understand the organization of natural systems and the processes that maintain the healthy functioning of living systems and sustain life on Earth. So, in another perspective, ecological literacy is an understanding of the principles of organization that ecosystems have evolved to sustain the web of life, which is the first step on the road to sustainability. So, the second step is the move towards eco-design, of which there is a need to apply the ecological knowledge to the fundamental redesign of technologies and societal institutions, to bridge the current gap between human design and ecological sustainable systems of nature. So, what is sustainability? Sustainability is a qualitative and quantitative condition that demonstrate the human capacity to survive over time. It is qualitative in a way that we want well-being, although it is difficult to measure. But it is also quantitative in that natural capital and ecological carrying capacity can be measured with footprinting tools. It is biological and ecological imperative for human society to exist within the carrying capacity of the ecosystem. So, ecological literacy therefore provides the basis for integrated thinking about sustainability. It supports the frame of mind, ethics, and the types of practice that will support the kind of thinking that prioritizes ecological imperatives. Our society has created industries, processes, programs, and institutions that are destroying the ecosystem's ability to support life. So the next one is ecologically literate person and society. So according to WAL 2017, ecologically literate person can apply such understanding to the design and organization of communities and the creation of regenerative culture. To be ecoliterate means to understand the principles of organization of ecological communities and to use those principles for creating sustainable human communities. An ecologically literate person understands the essence of independence and interconnectedness and that we are all part of a living system. An ecologically literate person translates this understanding into actions that demonstrate conscious efforts to minimize negative impacts in our life-sustaining systems and maximize value contribution to our collective well-being. Thus, ecological literacy is a powerful concept as it creates a foundation for an integrated approach to environmental problems. Advocates and catalysts champion ecoliteracy as a new educational reform emerging from holism, system thinking, sustainability, and complexity.
See two ways to develop ecoliteracy in schools. A growing number of educators feel the need to foster learning that genuinely prepares young people for the ecological challenges presented by this entirely unprecedented time in human history. The goal is to raise students with an important perspective called socially and emotionally. Engage ecoliteracy, which is a process that offers an antidote for fear, anger, and hopelessness, which result from inaction. Hence, the act of engaging in ecological challenges on whatever scale is possible or appropriate, it develops strength, hope, and resiliency among young people. To help educators foster socially and emotionally engaged ecoliteracy, the following are identified practices in age-appropriate ways for students ranging from pre-kindergarten through adulthood, and help promote the cognitive and affective abilities with the integration of emotional, social, and ecological intelligences. First, develop empathy for all forms of life. By recognizing the common needs we share with all organisms, we can extend our empathy to consider the quality of life of other life forms, feel genuine concern about their well-being, and act on that concern. Second, embrace sustainability as a community practice. By learning the wondrous ways that plants, animals, and other living things are interdependent, students are inspired to consider the role of interconnectedness within their communities and see the value in strengthening those relationships by thinking and acting cooperatively. Third, make the invisible visible. If we strive to develop ways of living that are more life-affirming, we must find ways to make visible and things that seems invisible by using web-based tools such as Google Earth, Good Guide, and Fooducate apps. Fourth, anticipate unintended consequences. Teachers can teach students strategies for anticipating unintended consequences. This includes precautionary principle that when an activity threatens to have a damaging impact on the environment or human health, precautionary action should be taken. Another strategy is to shift from analyzing a problem by reducing it to its isolated components, to adopting a system thinks perspective that examines connection and relationships among components of the problem. 7. Environmental principle of nature. Considering the key to understand environmental problem is to learn about ecosystem. Ecological can be best appreciated in schools through a more practical and more relatable perspectives and manner of orientation and realizations. Following are basic environmental principles of ecosystem adopted from Barry Commoner cited in Butler 2012. First, nature knows best. People need to understand nature and have to abide by the rules it imposes. In essence, one must not go against the natural processes if he or she would like to ensure a continuous and steady supply of resources. Second, all forms of life are important. Each organism plays a fundamental role in nature. Therefore, all living things must be considered as invaluable instruments in maintaining balance in the ecosystem. Third, everything is connected to everything else. In an ecosystem, all components interact with each other to ensure that the system is sustainable, of which any outside interference may result in an imbalance and deterioration of the system. Fourth, everything changes. People must rethink their relationship with the environment through relevant technologies for positive changes. Fifth, everything must go somewhere. Since waste may go back to one's own backyard in some other forms, it is important to become aware of the different types of waste, classify the segregation those that are toxic and potentially hazardous. 6. Ours is a finite Earth. Awareness of the Earth's limited resources leads to a conscious effort to change one's attitude and initiative to recycle them. Last, nature is beautiful and we are stewards of God's creation. Being the most intelligent and being gifted with reason, humans are capable of controlling and taking care of the creation to their own advantage. Towards a green school and education for sustainable development. School play a great role in the development of academics but also environmental ethics and care for nature among students. The school environment, therefore, should encourage, support, and nurture students' capacities on green environment as integrated in the curriculum and instruction. This will allow them to connect with their surroundings and attend to their health and safety needs, while motivating them to learn and imbibe a sense of belongings and sensitive towards the school, society, and even this planet. Environmental issues and concern can be effectively addressed when all effort of staff and students are geared toward adopting environmentally sustainable principles at all levels, from planning and decision making up to their execution in the schools functioning as part of the daily routine, such as creating a green school.
Good day everyone, I am Lerma Rapanan, your reporter for today. I will report about Module 10, which is Ecoliteracy, with the subtitle or subtopic Green School, its concept and background. So, the concept of Green School was introduced in Europe in the 1990s, while the Rio Earth School Summit of 1992 took cognizance of the need to take action in every area which human impacts on the environment. The World Summit on Sustainable Development in Johannesburg in 2002 catalyzed the efforts to bring about a shift in educating about the environment to educating for sustainability. This shift reflected the international climate of thinking about sustainable development that meets the needs of the present without compromising future generations to meet their own needs. There was a continuous misuse and abuse of natural resources in quest for development that would tend the future to be at stake. Hence, we need a deeper understanding and action to respond to environmental issues and challenges that our Earth is confronted with. Another thing about the concept and background of Green School is that it is all about recognizing education as a critical means to achieve sustainability. The United Nations launched the Decade of Education for Sustainable Development, DESD, in 2005. To integrate principles, values, and practices of sustainable development into all aspects of education and learning in order to encourage behavior that will create a more sustainable future in terms of environmental integrity, economic viability, and a just society for present and future generation. A key objective of the UNDESD, or the United Nations Decade of Education for Sustainable Development, is to foster better quality teaching and learning for ESD. This calls for reorientation of thinking and practice of formal education, including the learning approaches and assessment. Now, what do we really mean when we say Green School and ESD, or Environmental Sustainability Development? So, the Green School is visualized as a school guided by the principles of environmental sustainability. What is environmental sustainability? So, it refers to the responsible management of natural resources to fulfill current needs without compromising the ability of the future generations to meet theirs. It seeks to create a conducive environment to fully utilize all resources and opportunities inside and outside the school and orient teachers and students on environmental sustainability through active involvement of the community. It demands ongoing, continuous, and synergistic efforts of all stakeholders toward improving the environment of the school and its surrounding. Another thing is students' learning experiences outside school help them to consolidate and apply knowledge, gain understanding of environmental processes, interrelationship and issues, acquire life skills, and help foster attitudes, values, and sensitivity towards environmental concern. A green school is identified with those elements and practices that inculcate environmental sensitivity to promote environmental sustainability through various environment-friendly means and encourage judicious use of resources. It also caters to the physical, mental, and emotional needs of a child by ensuring a school environment that is physically safe, emotionally secure, and psychologically enabling. Let's talk about the essential aspect of green school environment. It says here that greenness of a school finds expression in various aspects of the environment. The green school has clean, healthy, protective, and green surroundings. It also promotes both the physical and the psychosocial health of learners and others in the school, ensures a healthy provision of health services such as nutritional supplementation and counseling, hygienic, safe drinking water, neat and clean classrooms, playgrounds and parks, etc. Safe learning environment with healthy practices, school free of drugs, corporal punishment, and harassment, and brings children closer to nature and involves them in taking care of it. Thus, a green school is a school that engages the school community, especially children, in critical thinking and learning by adopting participatory, practical, and collaborative approaches to work together and make the school environment healthier for students and staff by involving the whole community to work towards a sustainable future. A green school adheres or believes to the following precepts. First, learning about environment. It focuses mainly on acquisition of knowledge and understanding of the surroundings and related issues. Second is learning through the environment. It refers to the processes of learning while being engaged with environment inside and outside the classroom. Third and last, learning for the environment. It aims at developing an informed response and responsibility towards the environment beyond acquisition of skills and knowledge. Now let's go to understanding the green curriculum. So for a curriculum to be green, it must include the following aspects. First is environment is encompassing, multidisciplinary, and dynamic. It has scientific, social, economic, political, and technological dimensions. Second, being a holistic. A green curriculum views environment as all that is around and aims to give a better understanding of the way the world functions, its operations, its alteration because of the action of human race and its consequences. The third in understanding green curriculum is that it holistically addresses sustainability concerns such as protection and conservation of natural resources, traditions, culture and heritage, safety and security, physical and emotional assurance, health and sanitation issues, concern for equity and justice, and interconnection between and among natural, social, physical, and cultural environment. Fourth, this requires a teaching-learning approach where students are provided time and space to explore different facts of environment and interconnect them. Fifth, and last, a green curriculum is a mutual concern of teachers and students. That would be all for my report.
Now, let's move to Park Green School Program. Philippine Environmental Perspective. A dark green school or DGS is a school that delivers environmental education through assimilation of the environmental philosophy by the students in formal lessons, as well as in activities outside the classroom. Accordingly, school must be clean and neat as evidence of good management and housekeeping. Call for green spaces, appropriate land use, planning, conservation of materials and energy, proper waste management, segregation, use of appropriate materials and avoidance of harmful ones, and respect to others' right to a smoke-free air. Have management policies and guidelines that would create a healthful and ecological campus. Have a well-planned environmental curriculum for all levels. Adequately oriented and trained faculty and administrative, library, and financial support. Have faculty and students who are aware of and appreciate the environmental program of the school. Reach out to an outside community to spread concern for Mother Earth and facilitate projects and programs that improve the environment. Engage in research that adds knowledge in the ways of nature and the impact of human activities. And next, the ecological living practices. Sustainable ecological living is based on different sets of principles to assess the impact of our choices and actions. We need criteria from studying the basic facts of life as follows, Capra 2023. Matter cycles continually through the web of life. It means to underscores the dynamic and interconnected processes that sustain life on Earth. It emphasizes the importance of maintaining the balance of these cycles to support health and ecosystems and the overall environment. Number 2, most of the energy that drives the ecological cycles flow from the sun. The sun is the fundamental energy source that drives ecological cycles and processes. By providing the energy needed for photosynthesis, it supports the growth of plants, which in turn sustain herbivores and carnivores. The sun's energy also influences climate, weather, and various biogeochemical cycles, making it central to life on Earth and the functioning of ecosystems. Number 3, diversity assures resilience. It means that having a wide variety of perspectives, backgrounds, and approaches within a group or system strengthens its ability to withstand and adapt to challenges and change. Number 4, one species waste is another species food. The phrase one species waste is another species food highlights the interconnectedness of life and the importance of nutrient recycling in ecosystems. It underscores the idea that waste is in one context can be a valuable resources in another, promoting ecological balance and sustainability. And last, number 5, life does not take over the planet by combat, but by networking. It emphasized the importance of relationships, cooperation, and interconnectedness in the survival and thriving of life on Earth. It suggests that the strength of life lies in its ability to form networks and work together rather than in isolated competition and conflict. The dimensions of sustainability describe the environmental impacts of our activities, the concepts of which come from the socio-economic and political system of the society. Sustainable development entails 3 dimensions: environmental, economic, and social. Creating a green school. A green school is a school that creates a healthy environment conducive to learning, while saving energy, environmental resources, and money. Therefore, a green school reduces environmental impacts and costs. improves occupants' health and performance, and increases environmental and sustainability literacy. Characteristics of a green school: green, healthy, and high-performing are the characteristics of a green school that provides many benefits to students, teachers, parents, and the community at large. It protects health, school, built with modern lighting, better ventilation, and health. Green building materials and paints are healthier for students and staff. It increases student performance. Student test scores can be improved up to 20% when students learn in green classroom. It saves energy and money. Operating costs for your energy and water in a green school can be reduced by 20% to 40%. It reduces carbon emissions. Green schools significantly reduce carbon dioxide emissions. It reduces water usage. On an average, a green school reduces water usage by 32%. That has direct savings for the building. It improves teacher retention. A green school can reduce teacher turnover by as much as 5%, which improves students' learning and school community and can result in financial savings for the school. It improves daily attendance. It reduces absenteeism by 15%. It provides a unique educational opportunity. School can become teaching tools and important features of science, math, and environmental curriculum when green features, advanced technology, and design in schools are used to motivate students about learning real-world application of green technologies and using schools and schoolyards as living laboratories. It creates green jobs. Creating green school is an investment in green jobs, including green constructions, building product manufacturing, and green architecture. And last, it improves equity. Greening public schools creates an opportunity to improve the health and educational settings for all students.
Ecological living practices. Sustainable ecological living is based on a different sets of principles. So, to assess the impact of our choices and actions, we need the criteria from studying the basic facts of life. So, there are 5 criteria according to Capra 2003. The first one is matter cycles continually through the web of life. The second one, most of the energy that drives the ecological cycles flow from the sun. Third one, diversity assures resilience. Fourth one species waste is another species food. And last one, life does not take over the planet by the combat, but by networking. So the dimensions of sustainability describe the environmental impact of our activities, the causes of which come from the socio-economic and political systems of the society. Sustainable development entails 3 dimensions: the environmental, economic, and social. Next is ecological living. Ecological living gives a larger understanding of how things connect and are interdependent that begins with addressing the causes of negative impacts on the environment. Ecological living and literacy therefore provide people with the tools, knowledge, and wisdom for taking concrete actions on their immense desire to contribute to a better world and future. Capra 2003. So therefore, ecological living means to live in a way that it respects and replenishes the carrying capacity of our planet, honors our interrelatedness with all expressions of life, enhances the qualitative aspects of our relationships, and brings forth the best of our human capacities for the co-creation of an ecologically sustainable and caring world. And according to Smithsman 2014, mentioned the practical suggestions on how we can support the change for sustainability through ecological living. So it is helpful to remember and draw inspiration from the inner or personal development dimensions or ecological living. So the following are inner and outer ecological perspective. So first one is inner ecological by Smithsman 2014. So first one is become a catalyst of change to help co-create a better world and future. The second one, care for and relate with non-human beings while spending time with nature. Make the most of sustainability crisis that forces us to learn, dream, think, design, act, and relate in new ways. Join the rest around the world in becoming agents of sustainability. Nurture nature by taking care of our body and become aware of our natural body rhythms, become more energy efficient, and learn to recycle our own energy. 6. Learn to compose our own waste and no need to dump this onto others. Become aware of rights, needs, and well-being of future generations and explore how we can support this in our actions. So, in inner ecology, as outlined by Smithsman in 2014, advocates for individuals to be proactive agents of change in co-creating a better world and future. It emphasizes the importance of caring for and connecting with non-human beings through time spent in nature. This approach encourages us to see sustainability crises as opportunities to learn, innovate, and act in new ways. So, by joining the global community as sustainability advocates, we can nurture nature by prioritizing our physical well-being, being attuned to our natural rhythm, improving energy efficiency and recycling our own energy. The second one is outer ecology, Smithsman 2014. So, first one is educate ourselves about the resources that we, our family, and or organizations utilize to fulfill the sustain our needs. Second is reduce, reuse, repurpose, and recycle. Third is be aware of the real price of goods and services that we use. Cheap products often have hidden costs, e.g. the cost of child labor, animal cruelty, or degradation of ecosystems. Fourth, find out any child labor practices or natural resources that we sacrifice in the process of producing products and services. 5. Recycle gray water. 6. Collect and use rainwater. 7. Create an organic vegetable garden. 8. Compose organic waste and use compost in the garden. 9. Create the garden with balance of endemic, indigenous plant to support local wildlife, animals, insects, trees, and plants. 10. Create the roof garden, green roof as a natural air conditioning alternative to increase garden space. 11. Buy organic and local products as much as possible. And last one, support local businesses and organizations that care for our planet. So this list from Smithsman 2014 proves the practical steps to improve our impact on the environment.
Good day, everyone. I am Micah Ortigas, and I will be discussing to you the integrating ecological literacy into the curriculum. The Center of Ecoliteracy of 2015 promotes a variety of teaching strategies based on practices that are developmentally appropriate to students' level and are brain-based to foster knowledge, skills, and values essential to sustainable living. So, according to slide 2015, students learn best when teaching strategies are varied that include hands-on activities, time for reflection, thoughtful discussion, and combined indoor and outdoor environments, including interdisciplinary projects. Let's discuss first the place-based learning. When we say place-based learning, it is an experiential learning that engages students in their own environments and a strategy that captures their imagination and advances environmental stewardship and civic engagement. For example, activities including supporting habitat restoration projects, working with local citizens to improve the quality of life in their communities, and studying the interplay between local society and the environment is one of the activities that we can do on this kind of learning. So, in place-based learning, learning takes students out of the classroom and into the community and natural environment. It adheres to the following principle. First, place-based projects are integrated back into the classroom lessons. Second, students want to learn in order to apply their knowledge to solving real problems. Third, students play an active role in redefining and recreating projects. Fourth, students collaborate with local citizens, organizations, agencies, businesses, and governments. Fifth, students help make plans that shape the future of their social, physical, and economic environments. According to slide 2015, place-based learning also have benefits such as higher test scores, better grade point average, improved classroom behavior, increased self-esteem and problem-solving abilities, and higher level thinking skills. And now let's tackle the project-based learning. When we say project-based learning, it is a strategy that involves students in projects that use a variety of resources, including the community, technology, outside experts, written resources, and the web, while the teacher usually serves as facilitator of learning. Research shows its impact on learners, such as first, increased critical thinking skills of students. Second, fostered positive attitudes toward subjects and exemplary performance with conceptual questions and applied problems. And third, or the last one, is improved positive study and work habits, problem-solving capabilities, and self-esteem. And the third one is the Socratic inquiry. This is named after the Greek philosopher Socrates, who believed that questions stimulate learning. Rather than teaching facts and information, teachers encourage students to ask questions about their assumptions, values, and preconceptions. Therefore, the role of the teacher in the Socratic inquiry shifts from direct instruction to facilitating discussion. Through skilled questioning, the teacher asks students to clarify their statements, identify weaknesses in their arguments, and provide evidence for their reasoning. So, Socratic inquiry has also impacts on student learning, such as first, students reveal their beliefs, misconceptions, and values, and eventually clarify their thoughts related to the topic being discussed. Second, become more adept in critical thinking. Third, students improve their listening skills and learn to better articulate their thoughts and ideas and become more tolerant of diverse opinions. The fourth one is the experiential learning. It is based on the premise that learning is an active and a continuous process with experience as its foundation. It promotes students' involvement in the real world and defines the teacher's role as a facilitator of learning. The process of learning leads to behavioral outcomes. The last one is the interdisciplinary learning. When we say interdisciplinary learning, it emphasizes connections between traditionally discrete disciplines such as math, science, history, and language arts rather than limiting learning to one content area at a time. There are also advantages of interdisciplinary learning such as the following. First, it allows teachers to better differentiate instruction and create more interesting and rich methods of assessment. Second, it allows students to access a particular theme from different entry points as they work with a range of sources of information and perspectives. Last, interdisciplinary teaching and learning adheres to the principles that help define a sustainable living. And that ends my discussion. Thank you for listening, everybody.